You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
It's Wednesday night, time for the Paranormal Experience radio show with host Kat Hobson. Kick back, relax, and get ready to learn. Welcome to the show. Now, here's Kat.
Hello there. Welcome to Paranormal Experience Radio. I am your host, Kat Hobson. We are going to have so much fun tonight because the gentleman that I am hosting is someone I enjoy. He is a brilliant researcher. He is a ghost hunter extraordinaire. He is a parapsychologist, and he has worked with Lloyd Auerbach, who is someone else I admire greatly. He is an advanced certified clinical hypnotherapist. And yes, that is difficult for me, but I think I got that right. And he works actually in all kinds of capacities utilizing that, not the least of which is working on cold cases and missing persons. But he also aids people with things like PTSD, quitting smoking, just bettering their lives through their minds. And how cool is that? I mean, I think it's pretty amazing. One of the things that I admire the most, though, is the fact that he is a founding member of the Paranormal Research Organization, which we're going to talk about also. But he is also a founding member of the Lone Star Spirits Paranormal Investigation Team. He's a pretty fair speaker, too. And I do want to let y'all know that at the top of the hour, we're going to have a little bit of an announcement. And it's going to be a big deal. I may wait till the end of the show just so I don't detract from our conversation. But I did want to let y'all know that other big news, Denise Pridemore of the Paranormal Pride will be joining us here for her first show with us on Monday. So I'm so excited to welcome her. She is going to be a great asset for this station. And I think that it's just going to be way too awesome. But first and foremost is my guest, Peter James Haviland. Hey, Pete, how are you?
Miss Kat, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm well. I am. I have all the things happening, and I'm excited about every one of them. And not the least of which is I'm attending Scarefest as media this weekend, and I get to see so many friends and learn so much stuff. I love the panels, which you share a lot of information when you speak, too. So I wish I could come to one of yours.
Well, are you going to be in Jefferson coming up in, November?
I am not, because November is getting close to when my next grandchild is due.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited, but I would love to be there. I've been sharing that banner, too.
Oh, well, thank you. Dave Schrader will be there, too. That'll be very interesting. I've talked to Dave a couple of times. A good guy.
He seems to be wonderful.
Oh yeah, he's got a good head and heart. So yeah, I'll be very interested to finally meet him. I haven't never met him yet.
Oh, in person?
Yeah, I've never met him in person. We've spoken a couple of times on interviews and through Facebook and stuff like that. He's always been very friendly.
Well, he just seems to be that kind of person. I think that he is really doing a great job at what he does. And I know that probably there were a bunch of people that were surprised, but he's doing great.
Oh yeah, I think didn't he just take over for Midnight in the Desert when Art Bell passed?
He did. And I think that he's doing a really terrific job with that.
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Well,
should
as,
have a host
as only
like
Dave
that.
can. I mean, Dave's pretty funny.
He is funny, and he's very intuitive with his questioning also.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah.
I interviewed George Norrie at one point and told him, laughingly, that I had been interested in his job. He laughed.
Yeah, I like George
So,
Norrie too. He's got a good sense of humor.
He does, and thankfully, he is also the consummate professional.
Yep.
Because I needed him to be that, because it was my very first week out of the box doing this network, and it was a little dramatic. He was my first show, which was the reason that I was doing the network. I had somebody bail at the last minute. It was really terrifying. And yet here we are. I'm 15 shows in, and I'm so glad I did it because, I was a little afraid too.
Well, every time I've spoke with you, it's always been fun. So,
Well, thank you. Same.
Well, thank you.
So, well, I mean, you're one of my favorite people to talk to because you have so much history to share, and it's
You're making me blush now.
whatever. I know better.
I never.
But, you are very good at what you do. You've done it for quite some time. The things that you've done, the projects that you've worked on are no small change, right? I mean,
I'm rather proud of what I'm rather proud of what I've done so far.
Well, you should be.
I can't say there's anything negative that has happened with anything I've done.
Well, and working with Lloyd had to be a trip too.
Well, interesting story about that. I've read many of his books, and I had been speaking with him on email quite often. When my wife and I had our honeymoon, we went to San Francisco. I don't know. Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
How I met him?
No.
Okay. Well, oh man, the Moss Beach Distillery. He does a lot of work out there, and we decided to have some dinner there because we heard the history of the hauntings and stuff like that. I had handed my business card to one of the folks that does the seating there, and they told me it was going to be like 15 or 30 minutes to wait. But as soon as I handed my business card, they sat us right away, which to me is like really strange. And they sat us at this table that was right in front of one of the windows. Great, great view, and my wife and I were sitting there talking. We're, and I'm telling her, I said, I'm feeling a little weird. She's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I feel like I'm anxious and tense." And she said, "Well, why do you feel that?" I said, "I have no clue." And I'll be damned. I see Lloyd walk up, and he introduces himself, and I was just floored because I hadn't met him. I mean, we'd only talked on the phone a few times and emails and Facebook. And I swear to God, he swears that he had nothing to do with sitting me there. But I think that he's. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. But yeah, he told me that that a lot of folks had had the same feelings I was feeling at the table, and he was telling me about the haunting and stuff like that. And I swear I give him guff every time I talk to him. Whenever that comes up, he swears up and down he had nothing to do with it. But I know Lloyd. Lloyd likes to observe.
He does like to observe, and he probably enjoyed your discomfort for a moment with a little giggle,
Ah,
but he wouldn't have meant
with a
anything
giggle, yeah,
by
I
it.
can see that.
Yeah.
He's got a great sense of humor. I don't think he would have ever put me there just to mess with me. And we've been real good friends ever since. He invited me up to a conference that he was having on the paranormal, and it was a bunch of people across from the United States. And that was when he was wanting to form Pro. And so everybody that was there that day became a member of that group, Paranormal Research Organization, which it's kind of it's like a referral circle for him and all of us, if we have cases throughout the United States. One of the cases that I can't remember. He gave me a case one time, and then I saw one of the emails that he sent out to Jeff Belanger. He sent a case to Jeff Belanger. It was a haunting in a strip club. Man, I gave him some crap for that. It's like,
Well,
man,
if you're going to hand that out.
Yeah, it's like I get the really the straightforward stuff. I said, you give Belanger strip clubs. I said, what the heck is up with that? And he just laughed.
I bet he did.
Yeah. No, he said, well, if you want to travel out there, you're more than welcome to go. And it's all right. I think Jeff's got it.
That's one thing that, he is such a wit. But something else is when he lectures or speaks or does really anything involving the paranormal, he invites others along with him.
Yes, he does.
And
Yes,
he's very eager to educate people.
He's very big into teaching.
It's very neat.
Yes, he's real. He gets real frustrated with a lot of the stuff that goes on with TV. Well, his dad had a lot had a lot of history with working with television, and Lloyd's done a lot of television himself. So he knows the ins and outs of that stuff, and a lot of those paranormal shows that come around. I don't know if I could say that it really frustrates him, but he's not happy with a lot of the bad information that goes out there. So he wants to make sure that the good information goes out to folks, so they don't get scared for the wrong reasons. Being scared is, he really doesn't even want that either. It's a normal everyday occurrence, and the more that you bring it to a normalcy, when you take the fear out of it and people understand what's going on, you can calm down a little bit more, understand what's going on. And I wouldn't say benefit from it, but more be able to handle it a whole lot better than folks do, especially since it's been like a little over 10 years now since all these ghost shows, and and I know. There's two sides to the study. You have the entertainment side and you have the research side.
Yes.
And that's where a lot of folks get things kind of messed up, because they tend to seem to think that they cross. They really don't. You either are going to scare people to sell soap, and see the drama of it, or you're going to actually be the one that sits in a corner for 12 hours looking at a little card you put on the ground to see if it moves a quarter of an inch.
Right.
And you can't put that on TV, because who's going to want to watch that?
Well, that's an interesting point, because I have friends who are actually premiering their show Friday night, and their show is Haunted Live, but I think that's right. But they are
TV show or radio show?
It's a television show. It's on the Travel Channel, and it premieres Friday night. And it's the Tennessee Wraith Chasers. They've done 2 other shows. Excuse me. The first one was Ghost Asylum, and the very first time I met them, I had questions for them about that show, so they remembered me.
Is that the one with the mines and stuff like that?
No, that one was actually very